front of us. You sure you want to go under them?
I have no choice now.
We're committed.
We're committed.
And there you go. $3.50. So first I want to thank everybody for coming, and I want to thank my colleagues at the State House and everyone else for coming out this morning. This is an important day. This is the day that tolls start. But first we have Elaine Morgan, Bob Lancia, Sal Caosi, who's running for Congress, Mike Geary, who is running for the State House to be a representative, Sherry Roberts, my colleague, Bob Quattrochi. Did I get everybody who's an elected official? I guess I did. Wanted to thank you for coming. They've stood with me for the last 2.5 years against tolls, and I think it's important for everyone to know that we are still opposed to them. They're going to be bad for Rhode Islanders. But now another person who's been very important in our opposition to tolls, I'd like to turn this over to Chris Maxwell, who is the president and CEO of the Rhode Island Trucking Association.
Thank you. Pat, you've always been on the right side of the issue beforehand, not afterwards. You're promising, people are promising what they're going to do. You've always been ahead of the curve on issues like this, so thank you for your support, and we appreciate what you've done. So folks, we as an industry are, as former governor of Kansas, Bill Graves, who was the ATA's president prior to Chris Spear, said to me one time, tell these folks in Rhode Island we're just getting warmed up. We're just getting warmed up. We haven't even started yet. As you know, at 12:01 a.m. this morning, the first truck toll was registered under the Roadworks program. I want to congratulate the governor and Director Alviti. Their grand plan to fleece Rhode Islanders and the trucking industry over a false narrative that trucks do all the damage has finally come to fruition. Trucks do not do all the damage. Decades of neglect, malfeasance, mismanagement, and cronyism deal a decisive blow to infrastructure, as we've seen with the rusted, corroded bridges and bridge joints throughout the state. Their own plan is contradictory. They don't even toll the heaviest trucks, yet they blame it on trucks doing all the damage due to weight. It's a contradiction that they continue to still drive. So after 3 years of lies, misinformation, intimidation, punishment, retaliation, and fake news that sought to disparage the trucking industry and promote a reckless cash grab, the playing field has finally been leveled, and our day of reckoning is soon going to be upon us. Today, the trucking industry's 50-state federation pledges to continue fighting the governor's predatory and discriminatory truck-only tolling scheme. It's plain and simply, it violates the Constitution. We've warned the governor time and time again that Roadworks does in fact violate the Constitution. We've also offered viable and sustainable alternatives. Each time we've been laughed at and scoffed at as an industry. I close by saying, despite all this, I want Rhode Islanders to know that despite this, tolls or no tolls, our industry, our great industry, will continue to rise above this, and will continue to deliver everything that Rhode Islanders eat, drink, wear, watch, and drive. Thanks very much for your attention. I'll turn it back over to Patricia Morgan.
Thank you. Rhode Island needs solid infrastructure and safe roads. There's no doubt about it. But we already spend the highest amount per mile for our roads than any other state in New England. It's not that we spend too less, it's that we spend it improperly. It's been decades of really poor maintenance that has resulted in our patched roads and our bad bridges. When I'm governor, I'm going to make fixing roads and bridges one of my top priorities. But regardless of what the governor says, truck-only tolls won't solve our infrastructure problems. Let's not forget, the tolls are taxes. And I don't believe the answer to our state's problem is putting another tax on already overtaxed people of Rhode Island. In fact, I was the first candidate, and I think I'm the only candidate to have signed the pledge that I won't raise taxes as governor. Make no mistakes, the only way for this governor to achieve her goals is for truck tolls to one day become car tolls. I believe that has been the governor's plan all along. In fact, this current budget creates new taxes. And this governor has always been looking for more new taxes to squeeze money out of hardworking Rhode Islanders. When I stood along Chris, Maxwell, and the Rhode Island Trucking Association 2.5 years ago with my colleagues, we found more than enough waste in the budget that we could have avoided truck tolls. In fact, the truckers wanted to be part of that conversation, and they offered real solutions that would have provided the state with monies that it could have started collecting 2 years ago to relieve some of the problem. But neither idea was good enough for this administration. They were hell-bent on tolls, and now they are here. Make no mistake, these tolls will increase transportation costs, and those increases will be passed on to Rhode Islanders. Everything that comes into our state on a truck, and that's just about 99% of everything, comes on trucks. Everything from the gasoline we pump, to the cars we drive, to the kids, the toys our kids play with, to the food we eat, comes by truck, and all of them will cost more. Businesses that rely on trucks to move their goods, whether it's by Amazon or UPS or FedEx, will think twice before investing in Rhode Island. In fact, recently it was Pinnacle Logistics, which is Amazon's sole logistic company at TF Green Airport. They said they'll be ceasing operations and laying off 149 people, hurting the families that rely on that income and hurting our state's economy. This trend we will see continue as tolls come online, as well as those planned for the future. Truckers have made it clear. We will see fewer trucks on our highways because they will bypass Rhode Island. That means a loss of revenue at our local gas stations and small Rhode Island businesses where truckers stop along their route. It also means a loss of our federal truck registration and fuel taxes. I've said it over and over again, and I will make this pledge to every Rhode Islander who woke up this morning and headed out to work in order to put food on their families' tables. When I'm governor, I will dismantle the tolls. They're coming down. Woo! There's a reason I oppose tolls, because they will hurt everyone who lives, works, and shops in Rhode Island. And I'll leave you with this. Tolls don't bring prosperity to Rhode Island, they reroute it. Thank you. Are there any questions?
Representative, if you're going to make repairing roads a priority and do away with tolls, how do you intend to pay?
Do you know that DOT has $590 million this year to spend from regular sources without tolls? $590 million. That's way over $500 million. They use it poorly. We're going to make them start understanding that every dollar they spend comes out of a Rhode Islander's wallet, and they have to be better stewards of that money.
That's this year. You intend to do it all in 1 year, or?
I intend to make DOT start spending their money more wisely. I've pointed out that bridge in Slatersville, I know a few times. It's 92 feet long and it's costing $13.5 million. It should not cost anywhere close to that. That is wasteful spending. And if we stop doing those kinds of projects, if we actually make sure that every dollar is considered a dollar out of people's wallets, out of their purses, out of their paychecks, then we will spend it more wisely. Remember, Rhode Island spends the most of any state in New England on its roads and bridges.
You're going to dismantle the 10-year roadworks program?
You know, that plan was in place before this administration came into office. So there was a plan in place to repair all of our bridges within 10 years without the tolls. We can do that.
DOT says they need an extra 10% annually of what they have now to do this. That's why they're doing these tolls.
They're wrong. Right? When I had Director Albetti in the Finance Committee, I was asking him those questions. They just want a perpetual source of large revenue. He started clicking off billions of dollars worth of new projects. This is not about fixing the roads and bridges we have. These are about pie-in-the-sky projects that they would love to do with billions of dollars from Rhode Islanders' wallets.
The Truckee Association has suggested raising the gas tax instead.
Yeah, it was one of the things they had on the table. I don't know, we'll talk to them when I'm governor if they're still willing to do that, but that was one of the things that they were willing to do. They were willing to increase their own fees.
Connecticut has done that. Connecticut has gone up with the tax always in the state of Pennsylvania. That was their funding mechanism.
Okay,
I guess I'm wondering, as governor, you say you don't want to raise any taxes, but is that a tax that you would consider?
well, only with their permission. How was that? Only with their agreement. Seriously, we are going to pass a $9.6 billion budget for less than 1 million people in Rhode Island. We are losing population. We've got to figure out that there is a connection.
Can I clarify that that's the diesel tax, not
Yes.
regular gas tax?
No, yeah, that's not on, yeah.
Chris, what's the status of the legal action?
Status of legal action, obviously you don't see a lawsuit right now, do you?
No.
We're not, that is, you said, we are part of the Federation. The timing, the date, on what grounds, where, and with who, that's being determined by the ATA. It could happen today, it could happen tomorrow, but it could happen months from now, we're not sure. But every day you see it not happen, could mean that there's another strategy going forward. We don't know at this point.
So we do intend,
Sorry?
Any plaintiffs in
We have a
line?
long line of plaintiffs.
Anyone here?
No, those will be motor carriers.
So will RITA be?
I believe we'll be part of that soon, along with the ATA. And again, when you say ATA, we mean 50 states, as I mentioned before, 50 states are now going to be against the state of Rhode Island in terms of this road movement.
Because I feel like leading up to this, we heard as soon as those first trucks are told, you're going to see legal action.
No, we've been very clear. We're not going to be baited into a lawsuit. We're very clear that whatever gives us the best. I sound like Bill Belichick. Whatever gives us the best chance to win is how we'll go about this. So we're not going to be baited in. Timing is not going to be mandated upon us. We're going to do this when it's good for us.
Are you encouraging truckers at this point to avoid the tolls?
Truckers are going to start avoiding the tolls inevitably. What you're going to have is you're going to have a carrier like Prime that runs 10,000 trucks around the country that's maybe going through here today. Start looking at their Easy Pass bill and say, nix it. And what'll happen is a computer will be telling the driver where to go, not the driver. This is all technology. This is great technology behind us. That's what mandates where trucks are going to travel. It's going to be basically a no-fly zone. Trucks are going to go around the state where they can. When they got to come in, they'll come in. They'll divert onto secondary roads. It's a dangerous problem. Secondary road degradation. It comes with it a whole host of problems. So it's a long-term process. Let me circle back on something I said earlier though. My friend Donald here from North Carolina is with the American Road Team. I want to thank him for being here this weekend representing the great industry at the air show. This truck behind me, as large as it is, scales out, tips out the scale at about just over 60,000 pounds. Okay? So this truck doesn't do the damage. Okay? Again, as I said, it's malfeasance, it's lack of maintenance, but this truck is reminiscent of the trucks that they're targeting in this scheme. And this truck, as I said, as large as it is, it's over a 75-foot wingspan on five axles, yet the trucks that are being left out of this are on 3 axles, 30 foot long, heaped up at 75 to 80,000 pounds. It's contradictory. So just you need to know that. The whole plan that they've put forth to scapegoat and vilify our industry has no grounds. It's contradictory to the whole basis for this plan.
truckers have known that this was starting today. Are
Yes.
any going different routes today that you know of?
I imagine they are. I've heard northern Rhode Island towns and Foster and Gloucester see 20% or so increased traffic through there. Trucks establishing routes. This is a long-term situation. Mind you, also, this network hasn't come to full fruition. You've only got 2 north and southbound. We're looking at eventually a gauntlet of 14 gantries around the state. The Route 610 is going to have a number of them. So this will take time, but as those we understand that the next environmental assessment for the next couple of locations is underway. We will obviously challenge that, but this is going to be a long-term process. But trucks will start diverting around the state and off the interstate, making our local roads much more congested, much less safe, and certainly they'll take a pounding that the municipalities will have to foot the bill for.
Is there any chance there isn't a legal action of any kind of?
There's always a chance. There's always
What's the
there's a lot of remedies here. We have people in Washington that are cutting deals all day long. You never know how this is going to play out.
What would be your rebuttals? Right out is saying one of the reasons why we need truck tolls is because we can't rely on future gas taxes, diesel taxes, with changes, technology changes, more people are.
Let me see that. When Rebecca, you're a little bit, a couple of years younger than me, but in my generation, we grew up with one station wagon that got about 12 gallons to the mile, and that's what we had as a family car. If we were rich, we had maybe a second car. Now we have a family of 5 with 7 cars that maybe get 40 miles a gallon. You also have exponentially more tractor trailers, millions more on the road. There's about a 1% loss in the diesel consumption and gas consumption now. We've got a whole nother wave of infrastructure change on fuel and diesel tax. This is not about infrastructure. This is about a cash grab for an insatiable hunger from these politicians that can't get enough, and we need to stop that.
I just wanted to remind you that the legislature actually indexed gasoline taxes to inflation a couple of years ago, and that will increase everyone's gas tax by about 2 cents every other year. So there will continue to be more and more money flowing into DOT from the gas taxes alone. There's not going to be a diminishing of how much money they get. They're actually going to get a lot more.
Any more questions? Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And here are the gantries right in front of us.